Greetings, incoming re-entry students, and again, congratulations on your acceptance to UC Berkeley, and again, for choosing UC Berkeley. You definitely belong here, and we look forward to having you. I am Chris Gomez, Academic Counselor with the Re-entry Student Program, and to my right here is Gina Niceforo, a recent graduate, class of 2018, former student staff, and now my colleague. Gina, say hello.
Hi everyone, welcome to Berkeley.
So, we will be engaging what we call Wise Owls Wednesdays. The OWL stands for
Older, Wiser Learners.
And on Wednesdays, you can catch these videos on our various social media platforms. We will be bringing you current information regarding navigating this campus to ensure or at least support you in a successful transition through your first semester and beyond. And importantly, most importantly, in my opinion, is the student perspective. And that's why we will be hearing mostly from Gina today. This week we will tackle basic needs. Basic needs will include food, housing, situating with DSP, which stands for
Disabled Students Program.
Disabled Students Program, and health. So managing your UC SHIP and various other health needs. Because the student perspective, right, from the ground up is so important, and even myself as an academic counselor value and learn from my students every day, I would like you to hear from Gina about our various resources. So Gina, if you would be so kind.
Yes, things that I wish I would have known when I first started at Berkeley. So starting with basic needs is really important. So we'll start with food. There's a couple food assistance programs here specific for UC Berkeley students. One of them is our food pantry. It's located in the basement of Stiles Hall. Each student can come in twice a month and get 5 food items for free. And in addition, they often have fresh foods, which there's no limit. You could go in every day if you wanted to and get fresh food. You just need to bring in your Cal ID. So yeah, if you want to stay up to date on their hours, because they change a lot, I recommend they have a Facebook page. So liking their Facebook page, the UC Berkeley Food Pantry, will keep you up to date on when they're open, as well as when they have fresh food coming in, which is often almost daily. Another food assistance program specific to UC Berkeley students is CalFresh. CalFresh is a statewide food assistance program for low-income people, but you have to be working 20 hours a week usually to qualify. UC Berkeley students specifically can actually work less than 20 hours a week as long as you qualify for work study and Pell Grant. You can receive CalFresh, so to help with, which can actually give you up to $191 a month in food to get at the grocery store. So there are workshops for that they offer usually once or twice a month here, which again you can find if you look up the food pantry and like that on Facebook. They also will post their workshops to help you fill out paperwork and kind of have an ally helping you get through that, through the initial starting with CalFresh.
Thank you very much for that information, Gina. We will now be moving on to a bit about housing.
So I know at this point that the majority of you probably already have housing set up for at least this semester or this year, since the deadline for housing applications has passed. But if you're still looking for housing, there's a couple things to consider. We recommend going on Berkeley Re-entry Sale. There's a lot of posts on that about different housing options, furniture for sale and for free, all that kind of stuff, so it can be really helpful when you're first getting here. But also remember that even though you already have housing, if you're not completely thrilled about your housing setup after you begin here, there are other options that you can use in the future. So even for next semester, definitely for next year, you can change your housing situation if you want to. You're going to meet other students to potentially get apartments with. You're going to find out about other types of housing options that are really hard to know about before you get here, like co-ops and different stuff like that. So don't give up hope if you're not absolutely thrilled with your housing situation yet. That can change. And feel free to email or contact any of us with the Re-entry Student Program for questions about housing or anything related.
And there you have a bit about housing in a nutshell. Thank you, Gina. Moving on, we will now be we will now be discussing a bit about health.
So UC Berkeley students need to have some form of health insurance. And the UC Berkeley insurance is SHIP. So SHIP includes medical, dental, vision, and mental health services. If you do have your own medical insurance and want to waive out of SHIP, you still have until July 31st to do that. It's a $75 fee because the initial deadline has passed, but it is still possible to do that. There are a lot of stipulations involved though, so be sure and check out the UHS website to figure out exactly what you need to do to either keep your insurance or end up going to SHIP. A lot of students have really good feedback about SHIP. One of the main reasons is that we can get a ton of our medical needs met at the Tang Center, which is right next to campus if you do have SHIP. But even if you don't, and you have another form of insurance, Medi-Cal or something else that you came with, all UC Berkeley students get 5 free therapy visits at the Tang Center. If you do have SHIP though, you can continue getting mental health services, therapy sessions at a reasonable rate.
Last, but definitely not least, is DSP, Disabled Students Program.
So first and foremost, if you transferred from a community college and you had DSP at your community college, that does not transfer over. There's no way to transfer that over. So be sure and go to the Disabled Students Program Center and renew your DSP for accommodations. Just know that that doesn't transfer over. So the DSP Center is located in Cesar Chavez. It's above the Student Learning Center. And I definitely recommend checking out their website because basically depending on different abilities you need, depending on your different abilities and the accommodations that you need for those, the website will show you what paperwork you need to make sure that you can make that happen. And be sure and get your documentation and schedule an intake interview as soon as possible because it takes a little while to get that ball rolling. And the sooner you do your intake interview, the better for getting DSP scheduled. So again, feel free to email any of us or contact any of us if you have questions about the Disabled Students Program and want to, if you have questions about the Disabled Students Program. So we will also be starting a segment called Ask an Owl, which is basically, we'll take questions from you and answer those in video form. So please, again, feel free to email any of us or in comment section on any of these posts, any questions that you may have, and hopefully it will end up being answered via video.
Thank you, Gina. And again, to keep things relatively short, during these video segments, we are just going to give you tidbits of the information. Again, we will provide you with website information and our contact info so we can go further in depth on, case-by-case basis. For further details and contact information, you can look up our program website at reentry.berkeley.edu.
And additionally, we really recommend liking the Re-entry Student Program page on Facebook. It will keep you up to date on scholarships, classes, everything specific to re-entry students, as well as these videos and lots of other really relevant information for new incoming re-entry students.
So thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you soon. And again, tune in to Wise Owls Wednesdays.